tired of the same old school real estate lead generation tactics? Then you've come to the right show. Welcome to Open House, Open Mind, the podcast. I'm your host, Michelle, and this is not your average real estate podcast. I'm here to challenge the industry standards. You won't find pushy, salesy bro tactics here. There's a better way to do business without that icky feeling so that buyers and sellers are coming to you instead of you chasing them. So if you're ready to challenge those traditional standards with me, to fill your database, to learn mindset hacks that challenge your own limiting beliefs, and to take actionable steps to improve your open house experience, then stick around. Let's get you some consistent income in the business you worked so hard to get licensed in. And let's have some fun while we're at it. All right, today we're talking about lead generation overwhelm. We're going to go over the 3 mistakes most agents make when you're overwhelmed in business. And maybe you guys can relate this to anything. You put your business in place of real estate or lead generation. Because lately I had a few people tell me that they listen to the podcast, but they're not in real estate. They're kind of trying to convince me to even start a new podcast, just talking about like mindset in general and inspiration in general. But for now, if you're listening in, just replace real estate with your business. So the 3 mistakes that most people make when it comes to lead generation overwhelm, one is you are just trying too many lead generation systems. You're not focusing on 1 or 2. You're just trying all the ways and thinking the more you do, the better. But that's not the case. The more you do, the less you're going to be better at the 1 or 2 things that you pick. The second is that you're not doing that 1 or 2, or even if you are doing a ton of things, you're not sticking with it for a while. And so I suggest, to pick 1 and just stick with it for an entire year. Give yourself an entire year of you just sticking with the 1 or 2 source that you end up picking. And then the third would be that you have no system. You're kind of just throwing spaghetti at the wall. You're looking around and seeing what everyone else is doing. And you're just, you have no system. And you may not even know that you need a system. And especially, obviously what I'm going to talk about are open houses, right? Name of my show. It's what I do. It's the program I teach. And no one has a system for hosting open houses. That is until, we started talking about it now, but no one even really realized that you need one. And the reason for that is because when you're going out there and you're seeing everybody do the open houses, you think that the way to do them is to just have this almost like big party scene, right? And that the more, the better you make it look like a party, the better food you have, the better, drinks you have, the better prizes you give out, that's going to make your open house better and successful. And that is just not the case. Now, remember, there's a caveat to this. These tips are for new agents, for newer agents, new people in the business. Whatever business you're in, you have to keep it simple at the beginning, because if you try all the ways or you try to spend all the money to do all these things, you're going to get overwhelmed. And when you get overwhelmed, you're going to end up quitting, because we as humans don't like to be overwhelmed. We'll shut down. We'll start to procrastinate, because what happens is we don't like discomfort, right? We want to be we want to avoid pain, and we want pleasure. That's what our brain wants. And so that's why it's hard to do new things, and you wonder why, why can't I do this? Why can't I just get off the couch? It's because your brain, your reptile brain, is trying to protect you, and it's telling you, no, stay safe. That's too hard. Remember, when we get overwhelmed, we don't like that feeling, remember? So let's just stay here and stay safe. And that's what's going on. And we don't want that to go on, right? We want to try to avoid as much overwhelm as we can, so that doesn't happen. So you don't get sucked back in to doing nothing, right? To just sitting around. And that's why we want to keep it simple. We want to keep business simple, especially when you're starting out and when you're starting something new. So that's why I always highly, highly suggest that you pick the one lead generation source. Of course, mine is open houses, and you combine that with social media. Now, I'm talking about real estate, of course. So if the social media part doesn't apply to you, then think about, maybe just picking the one thing and going all in on that one thing. Make sure, just give yourself a year. Give yourself even, maybe you can start now. Just say you haven't started, you haven't done it, and you're like, I've been just doing all the things. Start now, start today, and go till the end of the year. And I promise you, you will start to gain some traction. Now you have to remember to not let all of these outside circumstances affect you, right? You're going to hear, oh, it's an election year. Things are slowing down. You're going to hear right now all about the NAR settlement going on, all the stuff that's happening and how everyone is talking about it. You're going to hear a ton of negativity. I want you to put blinders on. There are always changes happening, but at the end of the day, what you need for business, for real estate, or any entrepreneurial business where you're selling something, you need leads. So put your blinders on and we're going to just look forward. How do I get leads? How do I fill my database? And how do I convert those leads to clients? Because at the end of the day, you got into business to make money, right? So let's put your blinders on and let's move forward. Let's just make money in real estate. You're going to need leads in order to even learn everything that's happening right now, right? You're going to need leads. At the end of the day, bottom line, and I know I keep saying that over and over, but I want you guys to just truly, truly, if you spent a lot of time and money to get your real estate license. And so I want you to give it another shot. If you're brand new, then this is good for you. Don't listen to everyone saying like, oh, you're brand new. Oh no, poor you. No, this is great for you if you're a brand new real estate agent because you're not going to know any other way. So just put your blinders on, go to all of the training classes that you can in your broker's office, with your MLS, with your board, go to everything that you can, listen in. All right. So then the second one is just like I said, how long you're doing it. Now, I know I said to start now and go to the end of the year, but if you can give yourself an entire year, then that's when things are really going to pick up for you. You can't just do things one or two times and then expect these amazing results. They happen. Believe me, they happen. I've told you about my client before who did the open house challenge last month, and she was in contract within 7 days. From the time she met her clients at an open house on Saturday, she got them pre-approved the next couple of days, opened escrow the next couple of days, and she closed her escrow within the 30-day challenge that we did. So it can happen. And this is why I teach this. And this is why I teach this, especially for new agents. So you have to give it time. And it's not just about like the year. It's about how many times are you doing this? How many times are you doing open houses? You've got to do them over and over and over. And if you're doing just this one lead generation source, then it's not as hard to do it over and over and over. And remember what I talk about with open houses. Open houses has people coming to you, right? You're not chasing them. So it's not as discouraging as when you're calling and you're getting hung up on and you're getting cussed out. It's not as discouraging. Now, it can be discouraging sometimes when you host an open house and no one shows up. That can be very discouraging. But again, I teach that you just don't sit around, you film content, you make things happen. And that's another reason why I don't encourage having a lot of fluff at your open house when you're new. I don't encourage that at all. If you're spending tons of money on brochures that are very expensive, on charcuterie boards and tons of, drinks and prizes and promotional items, and no one shows up, then that's going to be very, very discouraging for you. And that's why I highly suggest not doing that at the beginning. And then Again, the third one is just no system, right? Just going there thinking, oh, everybody else, this is what everybody else says to do. So let me go and host these open houses and sit there with my laptop and have these people come in and sign my sign-in sheet. And then on Monday, I'll just call them all. And, 30 people came in my open house, so I'm bound to get somebody. Well, if you didn't connect with them, then they're not going to remember you because they just went to 10 other open houses. Right now, have you guys noticed that there are a lot of open houses popping up? They're going to all of those open houses. So how are you going to stand out if you're doing what everyone else is doing and making them sign in when they first walk in and handing them a flyer and not talking to them? How are you going to stand out? You're not, because there's no system. You haven't been taught a system. You're doing everything the way you see everyone doing things, and you're not converting. You're not going to convert the way you would convert if you had a system. So those are the three things. Those are the things if you really start to focus on and practice, you won't be so overwhelmed. We don't want you being overwhelmed your first year in business, your first year in real estate, because there's so many other things that you have to learn. So you have to keep it simple. So I hope that helps. I am going to be doing a workshop on how to get listings. It's going to be called the Listing Launch Workshop, so that you can start focusing on getting more listings in your business. So stay tuned for that. Everything will be in the show notes, and I hope you have a fabulous week. For those of you who want to take this work deeper and master the art of hosting open houses in order to attract buyers and sellers, then you're going to want to join me inside Open House Mastery. This is a self-paced online course with a live component that will take you through every step you need, from finding open houses to host, to what to say when visitors come in, to converting leads to clients. Together, we're going to get clear on how to confidently land clients, not just leads. On top of all that, when you join Open House Mastery, you get access to my bonus follow-up system, plus my fun buyer manifesting exercise, where I teach you how to coach your buyer clients on manifesting their dream home. Also, you get to join my student-only community, where you get coaching from me once a month, where we master the non-salesy script together. So if you're ready to build a strong foundation in your real estate career and make more money this year, then join Open House Mastery. Link is in the show notes, but get in quick. You won't want to miss this month's live coaching. See you there.